So this is a story about the most messed up date I ever went on. And I want to start off by clarifying something. So people use the word crazy and nuts like interchangeably. And that is wrong. So here's how I'm going to say it. Like crazy to me, like crazy, we had a crazy time. Crazy implies like a great time, like wild, like you did some insane things, like maybe you did some kind of risky behaviors or whatever. And then like you lived and then you tell your friends. When somebody says to you like it was nuts, like there's like a negative thing, right? So I don't want to, and also sometimes people conflate like crazy with mental illness. That's not what's happening on this date. This date was just, this person was nuts. So first, let me say this. I'm gonna, for the sake of the story, because we're in Rhode Island, I'm gonna call her Trish, even though her name was Trissa. And so, but from now on it's Trish, okay, between us. So Trish, I think she came to see my band play or whatever, and like, so we were, let's go out and have dinner. I was like, Meh. And I mentioned this to one of my sisters, my sister Judy, and I tell her, and like, Trish is a really unusual name, right? So she's like, oh, Trish, oh, from like South County, like, oh my God, she's like my yoga teacher. She's such a great yoga teacher. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, you're gonna have so much fun. I'm like, we're not doing yoga. We're going on a date. So, but she was so excited for me to go on this date. So, Trish picks a restaurant to go to in East Greenwich. Now, I should have stopped the date immediately when we got to the restaurant and there was a sign on the door that had been closed down by the health department. Like, have you ever seen that on a restaurant? And then like and then it was open like the next week, but it was closed. And so I was like, oh, well, that's fine. Oh no, that's fine. So we like found another place to have dinner. And we're having dinner like 5 minutes into the dinner conversation. Now, I barely know this person. And she goes, hey, are you like friends with your exes? And I was like, like, some of them. And she's like, oh yeah, no, you can't be friends with your exes. I was like, what? She's like, you can't date other people and be friends with your exes. I was like, okay, all right, like you can't though, but you can't. And she kept saying it. And then like we're eating dinner, I was like, this is not going well. And so we finished dinner and it was near my birthday. My birthday's on the 4th of July. And so it was near my birthday and she goes, they have some fireworks. And we can just go down to the water and like watch the fireworks. And they're like, oh, my birthday. So we're in separate cars. So she's like, it's cool. Like they do it on the other side, of the lake. And then we'll be on this side and there's like a little parking lot. So I followed her and it's like meandering road. And then there's like a sad, wet bench. And then we sit on the bench and we're like waiting and we're waiting and we have nothing to talk about, and we're waiting and like maybe an hour, and she's like, oh, it's tomorrow. I was like, now what do we do? So I should preface this by saying there's cell phones, but like flip phones, but there's no, like, nobody has GPS, like, no, I certainly didn't, or whatever. So at this point, we're on this bench, right? And now it's dark. We're at the end of a dirt road at a lake, and there's no fireworks. And she's like, oh, I forgot to call my friend to tell her that you're not weird. And so she does that on the bench, like sitting on the bench. No, it's good, it's good. The fireworks are tomorrow, though. They have a whole thing, right? So they have a whole conversation. And so then she's like, you know what, I feel bad. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go. And nope. She goes, well, you're such a good piano player. I just got a piano and moved it into my house. My friend gave me a piano. Would you like come to my house and like play my piano, which is not code. It was just come and play my piano. When I was telling the Beatniks, or some people in the cast about this earlier in the show, they're like, you went to her house? We went back to her house on the first day. It was like, no, it was not that. So she's like, come back to my house to play this piano. And we're in separate cars. Whoops. We're in separate cars, so I like follow her, and it is the woods. Like, it's the woods. And when I tell people this story, I'm like, I even know what town we were in. I refer to it as Muckapog. I don't even know where, I really truly don't know where it is. And it's like just roads and there's nothing. And I'm like, I I'm gonna go home later. And so we finally get to her house, and it's this little house, and there's, you know, people have those like flags sticking out of the side of their house with little things on it, and sometimes it's like, you know, whatever, it's a pride flag or an American flag, anything normal like that. And this is, you know how people have like those shirts, those like really over illustrated shirts with like wolves looking really cool on them, you know, those that like somebody gives you as a blanket for Christmas or something? Like, so it's like that, but it's not that. It's just a black stallion, like in a sunset, and it's like rearing up on its back hooves. And that's it, just a black horse on a flag. But there's no like stable or anything, it's just, why is that there? It's not good, right? So she's like, oh, come in. And so we go into her house, and she opens the door, and the door, like, we can't open the door all the way because there is the biggest Great Dane I have ever seen in my life. And I was like, that's the horse. That's why they don't make a Great Dane flag. I mean, now they probably do, but they didn't then. And so I'm like, holy shit. And this dog he didn't bark or anything, he's just, like, he's just making a weird noise. And she's like, Thor, back up. So Thor, right? So Thor. So now Thor's in the house, and she puts like a lamp on, and like, I'm like, let me play a song to get the fuck out of here. But no, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna have some tea. So now she sits me in a chair and then goes and makes tea, and Thor gets on a love seat and just is on it like her dad, like just, and he's not barking, he's just, you know, and again, he's just like you can feel the floor kind of like Thor. And she comes back with tea, and we have tea, and again, we're talking, and then she goes back to the thing about, like, you're really friends with your exes. Like, she was really on it. And I was like, just like 1 or 3, I don't know, like not a lot. She's like, yeah, no, you can't do that. So she's like, you should play my piano. And I was like, thank God. So she takes me over to this piano. FYI, if you see free pianos on Facebook Marketplace, never, right? So this is long before Facebook Marketplace. Her friend gave her this. If it's a free piano on Facebook Marketplace, it can't be tuned. Not by any human or anyone on this planet. It cannot be tuned, and they want it out, right? So don't. So, but she did, and this what she didn't know. So she brings this piano. She takes me to this piano, and she goes, "Can you play? You have that song that you play in your band, Waltz of the Wind, and it's so pretty. Can you like play Waltz of the Wind?" And I was like, "Sure." And I put my hands down to play just a C chord, just like a 3-note chord, and it's like, it's not just out of tune. Like, the notes aren't even like in the same relationship to each other in it. It's like it's been prepared for like a piece of performance art. I don't know what happened. It was like, you know, normally like ding, 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 you know, like, you know, it's a little out of tune, it's cool. This is like ding, 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 ding. Like, there was not even a Western tuning on this thing. I don't know how they did it. And she smiles at me when I'm doing it. I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, and I start playing the song with my hands in the shape of the song as it goes, and it does not sound like the song, or any song, really. It was like, I don't even, if you know Cecil Taylor, it was not cool. And they know Cecil Taylor. You can look it up later. It wasn't even Cecil Taylor. It was like so horrible. We were there, and I'm trying to like sing this song, and it's not. But so at a certain point, I'm just playing, and I look over, and she's sitting on the piano bench with me. She's sitting on the piano bench, and then I feel her while I'm playing this song, and I'm dying because it sounds so bad. I feel her put her head on my shoulder. And and then I feel her humming, like, along with the song, which is impossible. It's impossible to hum along. So when I finished the song, and she's like, that was so beautiful. And I was like, I have to go right away. have to go now. And so I leave, right? And so I'm walking out, Thor, and bye, Thor. So I'm walking out the door, right? And so I'm walking back to my car, and I hear her go, she goes, like, call me again. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, but not before you stop being friends with your exes. Swear to God, that was like the last thing she says to me. I was like, okay, well, I guess that's never. And so I get in my truck. I have no fucking idea where I am. None. Zero idea. So I just start driving in my car. Like, I'm just driving around Muckapog. Like, no GPS, nothing. Not a light or a prayer or a mobile station. Nothing. So I'm just driving. And, like, my gas is going down. So, like, no joke. Like, 40 minutes I'm driving, trying to find a main road. And I find myself on my Sister Judy Street in South County. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking wake her up. And I didn't. But I parked in front of her house and I sat there for like 15 minutes because I knew how to get home from there. And I just had to collect myself. I wasn't gonna say this part, but I'm gonna. This lady married a guy I know. It did not go well. It did not go well. So that was the most nuts date of my life, and I'd like to just end by saying I'm so grateful for my wife, Katie.